5 years ago, I was all set to become an assistant professor at one of India's most reputed engineering colleges. That was the only dream my parents had taught me to dream since childhood, and I couldn't have been more excited. Back then, if you told me that by 2024 I'd be a full-time writer and running my own business, I'd just laugh and think you're crazy. Business and me? How is it possible? Engineering is the only goal I've ever pursued, and an engineer is all that I'd ever be. Strange how life works in mysterious ways. Today, I have a business that generates multiple seven-figure incomes in revenue each year. I have a GST certificate, an import-export code, a trade license, and so many other fancy things that I had never even heard of 5 years ago. If I had to go back in time and tell the younger version of me a few pieces of advice on how to start your business, this is what I would do. Hello everyone, my name is Anangsha Alamyan and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about the 5 things I wish I knew before I started my business. If you are looking to start your entrepreneurial journey, then this video is going to be super helpful for you. Are you excited to get started? Let's dive right in. Number 1, you can't do it alone. I mean, of course you can, but it will take you way more time and effort if you do it without help from anyone. So when I was starting my business, I had to do a lot of things like registering my company, getting a GST certificate, applying for various government grants, etc. If I had to do all of that by myself, I would be so stressed. I would have to learn so many new rules and government regulations, and I wouldn't have had time to spend on my actual business or my writing. And this would have been counterproductive. So what I did was I hired a CA, a chartered accountant, who helped me with all the legalities and the rules of the process. Hiring a CA not only cleared my time, but also gave me the mental clarity that I can use my focus and my attention to create content and write better articles. Of course, hiring a CA wasn't cheap, but it did help me in so many ways that I feel it was a totally worthy investment. And if you're looking for professional advice from my CA who has helped me so much through my journey, I actually did a video interview with him a couple months back. I have linked that video interview right here. It talks about all the things a freelancer needs to keep in mind when they start making their own money. So make sure you check that video out. Number 2, embracing uncertainty is the key. When you're working a 9 to 5, you know that at the end of every month, you are going to get a paycheck in your account. It doesn't matter how hard you worked or how much you slacked off, you are going to get a salary and no one can stop that from happening. But when you're running a business, things are not going to be as certain as that. In my case, the best months I have earned more than $10,000, and in my worst months, I barely made $1,500. The fluctuations are too high, and if you're not mentally prepared for that, it can take a toll on your mental health. While this uncertainty is not in your control, there are some mindset shifts you can adopt that will help you adjust to this better. So based on my experience, here are 4 mindset shifts that have helped me navigate through this uncertainty. Number 1, save as much as I can during my best months so that when I have some lean months, I can rely on my savings. Number 2, understand that money is an energy. The more I spend money, the better it will flow into me as well. So I need to spend on better experiences if I want to earn more money. Number 3, use my savings in lean months. Even on my lean months, I try my best to give myself good experiences because they will end up boosting my morale. As an entrepreneur, my biggest asset is my mindset, and if I'm feeling demotivated because of the lack of money, then I won't be able to put in work towards my goals. Number 4, not obsess over savings during my lean periods. See, there is this rule that you should spend some money and save 30% of your income every month. While that rule might work for salaried people, if you're an entrepreneur and if you aim to save 30% of whatever you earn every month, it is going to take a huge toll on your mental health. Instead, when you have excess money, save it, as much of it as you can. And when you don't, use that money to buy yourself some space and some freedom of thought and clarity of mind. Don't obsess over savings when you're not earning enough. The rule of saving 30% every month doesn't apply to business owners. The third thing that I wish I knew before starting my own business was that I need to know what defines my net worth. I know this might be the most cliche thing on the internet, but I'll say it once again. Your network equals your net worth. My networking skills have saved me so much money every month. They have gotten me new clients. They have helped me get better opportunities, and they have helped me survive the toughest times of my life. As an entrepreneur, you need to go out, put yourself out there and network with high value individuals as much as you can. The 4 ways by which I make sure to actively network are: the first one is I attend networking events as much as possible. I'm lucky to live in a place like Hyderabad where there are so many entrepreneurs. So whenever there's an entrepreneurial meet and greet happening, I make sure to sign up for it. Second is I make connections on LinkedIn as well. Instead of just posting my content on LinkedIn, I also comment and engage with other people's posts. This has helped me make some friends, which has helped me in ways I couldn't have foreseen before. Third, when I part ways with a client, I don't burn bridges. I make sure that we have the option of staying in touch so that if in the future some opportunity arises where they can refer me to a client or they can hire me for some other services I can offer, that opportunity is still there. And number 4, whenever I'm facing a lean period, I actively reach out to all my connections and ask them if they can help me in any way, either hire me or refer me to someone else. The 4th thing that I wish I knew before I started my business is that building in public is your rainy day plan. I know a lot of entrepreneurs who believe that they are going to build in stealth mode now, and once their product is perfect, they will launch it to the market. Sadly, things don't work that way. The worth of your product isn't defined by how much you believe in it. It's defined by how much value the end user gets from the product. And the only way to know that is to let your end user use that product and then iterate based on their feedback. So what if I had to launch a product and become an entrepreneur today? Here's what I would do. I would launch an MVP or a minimum viable product version of my product and then launch it to my end users. I'd have a group of beta testers who are basically my end users, and they would use my product and give me feedback on how I need to improve it. And once they give me that, I would iterate based on their feedback and make the product better. Then I'd expand my group of beta testers to include more people and get even more feedback. I'd keep doing this step by step. There would be no one big launch day. It would be small launches in step-by-step process over a period of time that would help me get direct feedback from the people who are actually going to use my product, and then make sure my product is the best version of it that's possible. It is really that simple, but so many entrepreneurs are tied to their ego. They feel that they need to be perfect before they can launch, and that is actually stopping them from reaching success. So if you are watching this, I hope you understand that building in public is the actual way to reach success in today's times. The 5th thing is your personal brand can be a game changer. Let's take an example of Carl Pei, the CEO of the company Nothing. Pei has an active YouTube channel with more than 500,000 subscribers, and every week on his channel, he posts a new video either reviewing some competitor product or some fun video where he is playing the role of a tech blogger, or he just discusses the features of his phone. So Carl Pei is the only CEO of a big company that I know who is putting himself out there on the internet and reviewing his own products. No wonder Nothing phones are now compared to Apple or OnePlus, even though it's such a new company. The lesson here that we need to learn is, as an entrepreneur, the biggest currency or the biggest asset that you have is your personal brand. The same has been true for me. Just because I've been posting content online and I have built a personal brand for myself, I have built up a reader base of almost 180,000 readers on Medium. This is because so many clients trust me. Otherwise, if I was just a nobody with no portfolio, why would people even believe me even though I had a product that was the best in its field? Lessons from my entrepreneurial journey. Final words. Entrepreneurship is definitely not for everyone. It's not an easy solution if you hate your 9 to 5. Entrepreneurship takes a lot of work and a lot of mindset shifts. Here are the 5 things I wish I knew before starting my business. Number 1, hiring a competent accountant can save you lots of time and money in your early days. Number 2, every month isn't going to be the same financially. You need to learn when to save on your good months and not worry too much about savings in your lean periods. Number 3, network with like-minded high net worth individuals to increase the chances of success for yourself. Number 4, build in public, gather feedback from the end user and iterate your product based on the feedback before you actually launch it. Number 5, don't be afraid to show up online. Your personal brand can be a game changer no matter what niche you're working on. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you know any budding entrepreneur who might benefit from watching something like this, please share this video with them so they can learn something from it too. If you found this video useful, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future content like this. I'll see you again super soon with another new video. Until then, stay awesome and keep writing. Cheers!